up your engine. Okay, today I'm going to help you answer the question, should you buy a plug-in hybrid or not? We've got a real plug-in hybrid here. It's a Toyota RAV4. It's got over 300,000 miles, and you're going to find out the truth about plug-in hybrids. Now, of course, you pay more for a plug-in hybrid, but he didn't, because this is a 21. They had the rebate then. For the plug-in hybrid rebate, no rebate for the regular hybrid. So he got this with the rebates for the same price that he would have got a normal RAV4 hybrid, not a plug-in. So it cost him nothing. And ironically enough, nothing is how many times he's plugged it in to drive it. Well, almost nothing. He doesn't plug it in at home, but he drives back and forth to Logan Airport all the time. That's how he got the 300,000 miles, right? And there they have free electric plugs in. So when he's waiting, he'll plug it in to charge it up so he can run the AC and stuff for free and not have to run the engine in the car. He even told me, if this thing ever wears out, he will just buy a regular hybrid RAV4 because he's not going to pay extra for the hybrid because he just doesn't use the plug-in aspect. There's the gasoline over here, but on the other side is the plug. As you can see, that gasoline does not go in there, right? That's to plug it in. And he only uses it at Logan Airport when it's free. He does not plug in it at home. Now, depending where you buy one of these things, if you're buying a new one, you're going to pay anywhere from $6,000 to $9,000 more for the plug-in hybrid. And you might say, hey, I'm not going to plug the stupid thing either, so I'll just get a regular hybrid and save the money. Now, you might wonder why he doesn't plug it in at home. You know why? Because he told me it's a money loser. He lives in Massachusetts, where electricity is sky high, right? So, if he plugs this in to get the extra 45 miles of range, it's cheaper for him to put gasoline in, even at today's prices. Electricity can get expensive. Now, if you want to try this as an electric car, you can easily plug it in your house, right? Because it's a smaller battery, it's not like a full electric car, it would charge overnight. You get 45 to 50 miles of range, and you could put it in EV mode, and you could drive it as an electric car. People have driven them 50 miles or so at the highway going 70 miles an hour. It'll go a certain amount of time. Then it runs out of electricity and then seamlessly goes back into the normal gasoline engine hybrid system, and it'll run perfectly fine that way. If you want to play with, hey, I'm going to try an electric car, one that goes 50 miles and then switches over to the hybrid system, you might think about buying a hybrid. The overall range of this thing is 505 miles when he fills it up, right? Well, the range of my Camry not plug-in hybrid is 525 miles, and it's got a smaller gas tank. Realize if you're going to buy an SUV, they're higher up in the air, they're less aerodynamic, they weigh more, you're going to get a bit lower gas mileage. Now, this thing is averaging about 36.5 miles a gallon. Now, realize you spend a lot of time on highways, zooming. You get a little bit better in stop and go traffic because it regenerates more electricity. He basically is using this plug-in hybrid as a regular hybrid, like I said, except when he goes to Logan Airport and he's waiting, he'll plug it in because there's free charging for it. They want to try to make it green, and he'll be sitting there at the airport running the AC and stuff. The car's not running, so it's somewhat green, right? It's not polluting the air by the engine running. So if you're into that, you might think about getting a plug-in hybrid. But do they last? Well, at least the Toyota ones do. He's got over 300,000 miles. It's 5 years old, right? And the only real thing he had to do was on the shocks on the back, some of the parts rotted away, and he had to replace bushings on the bottom of it. But that's because he lives in Massachusetts, so things have a tendency of corroding. You might think, hey, look, the car's not corroded, but the license plate is. Well, in Massachusetts, you get to keep your old plates. Those are his original plates. He figures those plates probably have over 1 million miles on them. If you check the front one, it's even dirtier than the back one. Obviously, he sees it as a nice badge of how long he's been driving around, right? Most places I live, you got to get rid of the plates when you get rid of the car, but he just keeps taking the plates and putting them on his cars, and they let him do it in Massachusetts. Hey, the paint certainly is held up through the rust, you know? It's beautiful. And the interior? It's held up really well. We're going to check the back seats though, because he does carry a lot of people around. And the back seats have held up too. So cosmetically, it's in pretty good shape. Now, mechanically, the only thing he's done is the usual. Changing the filters, the fluids, having that all done. Now, he did have to replace the brake pads, but get this, the front ones went out at 198,000 miles. Not bad for a set of brakes, right? Because it's hybrid. And the back ones went like 238 before they needed replacing. So we're not talking about really expensive repairs because these things are well made. But let's get my big computer out and see what's going on inside the car. Now he's stuck to these Bridgestone tires, same tires I got on my Camry, and he's averaging about 80,000 miles per set. Not bad, really. They're rated for 80,000. He's getting 80,000, so you can't complain about that. Plug in my giant scan tool here, and we'll turn it on. This will show everything on these hybrid cars. Anybody wants to work on hybrid cars, you need a high-level scanner like this Ultra S2. It can do anything you basically need. It's already beeped, so it knows what the car is. We'll go into diagnostics. Now it's loading itself here. It's got the VIN number, okay. It is a RAV4 Prime 2021. It does a full topology scan, so here we go. While it's scanning, the seats are still in immaculate shape, even though it has 301,307 miles on it. Now, he did mention to me that he hit a deer a long time ago, and he was wondering if Toyota fixed all this stuff correctly or not. We'll see what the old scan tool says. 3 trouble codes. So, the navigation system, hey, it says it's got a code. Let's see what the code is. Trouble code. Here we go. Stereo component amplifier disconnected. Well, I really don't care about that, right? We'll erase that. Front radar sensor optical axis misalignment malfunction. So, yes indeed, the Toyota dealer did not fix it correctly because it's misaligned. It would have to be aligned correctly. They forgot to erase it, so we'll erase it and see if it comes back while we drive around. Well, the moral of the story is stay away from deer, or make sure you got your insurance premiums paid, because the insurance had to fork out 13,000 smackers for that deer that decided to whack into the front of the car. Check, the last one has to do with the door. Let's see what that code is. Back door. We'll see what the trouble code for the back door is. Power back door unit pulse sensor left circuit. Now, he had changed the shocks on the back doors to hold it up, and he had to cut a wire to get it off, so it had the code. He had the wire replaced, but the code's there, so we're going to erase that and see if it doesn't come back. As we go backwards in time, you can see all the codes are gone now. We'll see if any of them come back after he road test. And let's check out his HV system. Hybrid battery, you can see. The voltage is 375, and that's exactly what the voltage is, what it's supposed to be. So 300,000 miles, 5 years later, guess what? The battery's still pretty much close to 100%. Now, he didn't expect any problems. He wanted me to see what it was like with my machine, but he's still getting the same fuel mileage that he got before, so nothing has changed. If you do have a hybrid vehicle and you find that your gas mileage starts to go down, you want to check the battery first, because if the battery is getting weak, you're not going to get as good gas mileage. It could be other things too, like with a lot of mileage, you could have a clogged air filter, worn out spark plugs or whatever. Now granted, he recently changed the spark plugs for the first time. 298,000 miles, he decided, well, I'm going to change the spark plugs. It's only a 4-cylinder engine, not that hard to change them, right? Now, the engine doesn't burn any oil. There was no oil residue on the plugs, and he knows if it used oil, he'd have to put oil in. Never had to put oil in it. Now, he does maintain it. Now, as I said, it doesn't burn any oil, but he doesn't listen to old Scotty. He's not changing his oil every 5. He's changing it every 10,000 miles. But He puts 10,000 miles on this thing like every 5 or 6 weeks. It's all highway driving. So that's so much less wear and tear on an engine than stop and go. As you can see, it certainly works. He changed it every 10. It's got 300,000 now. It doesn't burn any oil. So if you're going to be driving on a highway all the time, yes, you can change it less frequently. Hybrid, it's showing you when you're using the engine, when you're using the battery and the engine. Now it's regenerating power because I took my foot off the gas. Now here we got the giant weight up here. Only one car there, whole bunch of cars there. So here we go, we'll step on the gas. Woo! Man, this thing gets up and goes. At one point in time, it was Toyota's fastest car. Not including the Supra, which is really a BMW, but I mean, it's got intelligent cruise control, it's got all kinds of stuff. I don't like the heads-up display. It looks like somebody glued it on. I like my Camry better where it smoothly goes with the dash. Some people didn't buy these cars just because of that. They don't like it sticking up like that. They find it annoying. And I have to say, I find it a little annoying too. But you would never know this car had 300,000 miles on it. You just wouldn't know. You can see in the state in it's now, you could go 34 miles on EV alone, and on a regular hybrid it goes 389 miles, and it's got about 3/4 of a tank. So range anxiety is not something you have to think about in this car. Now let's switch it to EV mode, see what it does. It goes pretty smoothly. You can see we're using all battery now. See? It's using only battery. Smooth, no problems, right? And in this case, you can go about 34 miles. That's what it charged up. If you would have plugged it in, which he doesn't do, it would have the full 45 to 50 mile range. Now we're going downhill. It's actually recharging the battery. It will recharge it to some extent as you go downhill. We're almost done going downhill. Now you see I step on the gas. Now it's using the battery instead of charging it. So it's definitely held up 300,000 miles. It doesn't run any different than my 5,000 mile Camry, right? So should you buy a hybrid vehicle that is a plug-in hybrid? Well, that's up to you. As he found out, he's actually losing money if he charges it up. He pays more for electricity to go 45 miles in this than he pays for gasoline to go 45 miles in this. So it depends on where you live, the price of gasoline, the price of your electricity, and whether you're going to have the gumption to plug the stupid thing in every night, right? A lot of people aren't going to do it. They're just not going to do it. So, as he said, if this thing ever wears out, he'll just go get a RAV4 plain old hybrid because he paid the same price for this as he would have paid for a regular hybrid back in the day in 2021 because there was the rebate. And the rebate did get people to buy cars. They see the plug-in hybrid closer to an electric car, and they used to give a rebate for them. But a regular hybrid, they didn't give rebates for. So that's why he brought a hybrid. He personally said he won't buy another plug-in because he doesn't really use it. Maybe you want to play around with, I'll pretend I have an electric car and I'll drive it in EV mode for less than 50 miles, then I'll plug it in and I can have an electric car. And you want to toy with it? And then you want to go on a trip for 500 miles? Well, when that 45 wears out, well, then you go back to the regular engine and still go a total of over 500 miles. So no range anxiety there. No. You make the decision. How much do you want to pay? Are you going to plug the stupid thing in? Is electricity in your area relatively expensive? Add that all together and you can decide whether you want to get a plug-in hybrid or not. But if you want the facts of it, they sold like 211,000 of hybrid RAV4s in 2025 and only like 33,000 were the plug-in hybrids. So people are betting on the regular hybrids. Let's just face the facts.